Welcome to Tech Learners in the Java tutorial series. Today's lecture is the second lecture for the exception handling. In the previous lecture, we had seen what we mean by exception and we had seen how we can handle exception using try, catch and finally block. In today's lesson, we will talk about some rules that we have to follow with try, catch and finally block. So let us see what are the rules for try, catch and finally block. There are four major rules. 1. For each try block there can be 0 or more catch blocks. So that means for each try block there can be 0 or more catch blocks. So let me show you what this means. We had already seen in what we used to do in try, catch. Try block we used to keep the code which is suspicious, where we see that may the exception can occur. In catch block we keep the code which is used to handle that exception, and finally block will definitely will be executed and basically is the message giver to the user. So the first rule says that with the try block there can be 0 or more catch blocks, but there is a catch in this rule. If we do not use this catch block, then how this will be handled? So if we are using 0 catch blocks, then we see that we have to use the finally block. That means alone the try block cannot be used. You can see with this try block I have not used any other, either the catch or the finally block. So this is just a try block. It is giving the error. Try without catch, finally or resource declaration. So you have to use at least one, either catch or finally block. So in that sense the try block must be succeeded with either one catch at least or one finally block. So if we do not want to use this catch block, then we have to use this finally block with the catch. Now as you can see, I have not used any catch block. I have just used try and then the finally block. So is this fine? Yes, this is fine. It will execute, it will give us the output, and we'll get the always executed block, finally block as the result. So let me input 8 and then let me input 0 as a result. So you can see that we have got the message. So the user will get the message. This will definitely execute, and obviously the exception will occur and this will terminate, and the exception message will be given because we have not handled the exception. So it is not a good idea to not use this catch block. So we should use at least one catch block. So this was the first rule, that for each try block there can be 0 or more catch blocks. But if we are using this 0 thing, then we need to use finally block. So you will be able to see that this will be into the rule number 3. The try block must be followed by either at least one catch block or one finally block. So we have seen these two rules into one single example. Let's talk about this rule number 2. Catch or finally block must be used with try block. That means without using the try block there is no significance. Let's say if I do not use this try block and if I use that finally block, so there is, let me compile, you can see this is an error. What is the error? The finally without try. That means there is no use, there is no existence of the finally block without the try block. And similar is the case with the catch block also. If we use the catch block without using the try block, so if we use the catch block without using the try block, you can see I have used only the catch block, there is no try block. So again there will be an error, the catch without try. That means the catch block and finally block must be preceded with at least one try block. Now let me show you the example of multiple catch blocks. Let me copy this and let me paste this, and whenever we use multiple catch blocks we need to be more specific with the exception classes. So I have two different classes This is arithmetic exception. Let me change the object also. So now you can see this catch block is catching. Okay, this is object change. So this catch block is catching the arithmetic exception, and this catch block is catching the general exception class. So we can say that we have more than one catch blocks associated with one try block. These any exception will be handled sequentially one by one according to their most specific order. So this is the fourth rule. The order of exception handling must be from most specific to generalized. That is why I have kept arithmetic exception on the top and a general exception class on the bottom, so that this is more specific, is caught before than the more general exception. So this is how we can use try and catch block, maintaining the rules of all the catch, try, and finally blocks. So the first rule was each try block there can be 0 or more catch or finally blocks. Then catch or finally block must be used with try blocks. Then try block must be followed by either at least one catch block or one finally block. And in the last, order of exception handling must be from most specific. So that's it for today's lecture. I hope you have understood the lecture. In the upcoming lecture, we will be talking about throw and throws keyword, and we'll be talking about dealing with more exception handling in Java. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel for more such videos, and hit the bell icon. Thank you so much.